Hey guys, Derek here. Like my first video, I kind of introduced what my channel is going to be about. So if you're interested in joining the Navy, please subscribe. Well, before I go into any Navy stuff, I will tell you about myself. I'm 18, going to my senior year of high school. I live in Washington State. Um, I'm very active in sports. Never had medical problems. I don't know what to say. Well, let's go in the Navy stuff. First off, I did not want to start off going in the Navy. I wanted to go into Army Artillery. But I talked to some Navy recruiter that came to my school. And I was like, oh, I thought they were just going to email me stuff about the Navy. I thought it'd be cool. So I filled out a piece of paper. But really, so about 3 weeks later, a Navy recruiter contacted me on Facebook, and she's like, "Oh, I heard you're interested in the Navy." And I don't want to be a dick and be like, "Oh, I'm going to the Army." Sorry. So I was like, "Yeah, I was thinking about going to the Navy." She's like, "What do you want to do?" I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about going to it. So she was like, "Oh, come into my office sometime, and we'll talk about it." I was like, "Okay." So I went. It was about 5 days ago. And first thing I walk in, there's 3 recruiters in there. I was like, oh crap. 2 guys, 1 girl. And the girl recruiter stands up. She's like, oh, you're Derek? Oh, hi. My name's Carrie. Like, hey, you're really happy. And so I sit down, and she's like, so I hear you want to go into the Navy. I kinda. And she's like, well, here's what I do. I'm in IT in the Navy. I have been to all these countries, and she has a globe on her desk marked with red Sharpie everywhere she's been. Oh my god. There's England, there's Japan, there's Korea, there's Ireland, Spain, Australia, well, America, Canada. And in America, she has all the states she's been to, and there's like Alaska, Hawaii. She's been stationed in Honolulu. I mean, wow. It's crazy. I'm like, the Navy really lets you go here? She's like, yes, I don't sit in a desert all day, blistering hot, sitting there in the same spot for hours on end. Like, wow, that is crazy. She's like, I've been everywhere except for a desert. Like, oh, you guys, you never been to Afghanistan? She's like, nope. But I'm just saying, guys, you do go to Afghanistan depending what job you have. And she was telling, oh yeah, she was telling me about the IT job. It sounds really cool. Something that would be awesome to do. But I'm not really techie. But something that you guys might want to do, hack computers or something. And then she was like, yeah, I really didn't go on to a ship until 6 years I've been in the Navy. 6 years? Isn't it the Navy kind of being on a ship? She's like, well, I had a bunch of training. I've been stationed a lot of places in America. And when I first went on the ship, I was like, oh crap, this is gonna suck. And then she's like, but once you're really on it, you think it's the best time of your life. You do work 12 hours, and you get 12 hours off. Work 12 hours, get 12 hours off. And she told me, but there's really nothing else to do but work. And she's like, but on your off time, you can watch TV, you can play Xbox, you can play basketball, you can play catch with a football. You can screw around with everyone. She says, you will work, but you will have fun with it. And she told me, like, when you get to somewhere, I think she said she went to England? No, you can't go to England. I don't remember where she said the ship took her to, but she said you are stopped there for 4 days. You only work 1 day out of those 4 days, and the other 3 days are for screwing around. She said I would take the first day to work and screw around in the next 3 days, and that last day is to cure my hangover. I was like, okay. Didn't know you could do that. But she told me it was the best time she had. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. She's like, are you interested? I'm like, yeah, I'm interested even more now. She's like, well, what exactly do you want to do? I'm like, I kind of want to go into artillery. She's like, oh, we have some stuff that can go with that. We're not really a combat branch unless you become a SEAL or something. And then she told me about all the jobs that can go into that. And trust me, guys, I changed my mind what I wanted to do within the next 10 minutes of her explaining stuff. There's some really cool things you could do. There's a bunch of things. I like IT. IT would be really cool, but I don't know if I'm smart enough for that. It all depends what you get on your ASVAB. That's another thing they said. They ask you, what did you get on your ASVAB? I told them I got a 87. They're like, okay, that's a really good score for the Navy. I'm like, yeah. And for the Army, you can qualify with the 31. And Navy, you have to qualify with the 50. So that might screw a lot of you guys up. Trust me, I know guys that have gotten 7 on their ASVAB. So if you get like a 48, even if you get like a 31, you still did better than a lot of people. So be proud about that. You can retake your ASVAB once they send you to MEPS. That's another thing they told me, but I don't want to retake it. Because once you retake it, that's the score you get. Your previous score doesn't matter anymore. So be aware of that. Then she told me, what else did she tell me? She told me the Navy is the only branch that'll tell you the day you ship out, the exact job you're going to do, where their school will be, and exactly what exact job to qualify for. I think I already said that. And she was saying that the other branches, they will tell you what kind of job you'll get. They won't tell you exact what day you'll ship out. They won't tell you exact what school you'll go to. So that kind of intrigued me more. Then she was telling me, how much did she tell me? Then she's like, so are you interested more? Like, yeah, I'm really interested now. She's like, you wanted to go somewhere else, didn't you? I was like, the Army. It's like, if you go to the Army, you'll be bossed around like you're nobody. I was like, I don't care. She's like, okay. That's okay. You'll be fine at boot camp. And then she's like, so you want to join the Navy? I was like, yeah, actually I do. Then she handed me a big stack of papers, like, I don't know. And she's like, you need to answer all these questions. You need to provide us with your social. You need to provide us with references. To every house you've lived in, you need a reference. To every, the school you go to, you need a reference. You need 3 references, just just randomly, just 3 more references. And then you fill out what jobs you've worked for, another reference. If you have any police records, another reference. And what siblings are in your household, which is, no, you don't need a reference for that. And then she tells you, bring your driver's license, bring your high school transcript, bring your birth certificate, bring your social security card. If you have any police records, bring that. I don't have any police records. If you have any medical problems, bring your medical history, bring, what else does she tell you to bring? Bring any tickets you got, bring a copy of that. I mean, you have to do a lot to do this, but in the end, I'm sure it's worth it. But then there's, you want to fill all of that paperwork out, she gives you another stack of papers. But all you have to do with those papers, oh, and with the other stack of papers, they ask you questions that they will ask you at MEPS, like, have you ever had athlete's foot? Do you have allergies? Have you had surgery, x-ray, broken bones? Have you had an STD? Have you have herpes? Have you had AIDS? Or do you have AIDS? Do you have herpes? It's just a bunch of random stuff that will see if you're qualified or not. And if you're not, they will try to get it waived. Some stuff can't be waived, but a lot can. And then, once you're done with that, she types for not hours, but she types for a while, entering all that stuff. Then she gives you another stack of papers. She's like, sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here, turn the page, sign here, sign here, sign here, turn the page, sign here, sign. You have to sign your name probably 15 times. And then they ask you more questions, like, have you ever done drugs? Have you been arrested? Have you had medical problems? I'll disqualify you from the military. I mark no for everything, pretty much. That's another thing with the other paper. You can mark no for everything except for, like, are you in good health, or are you an American citizen? That's okay. Then she types more and more, and then she tells you, okay, this is what day you will probably go to MEPS, which is July 1st, and today's June 21st. So in 10 days. Yeah, 10 days. I will be leaving for MEPS. And then she introduced me to all the other recruiters, and they asked me, yeah, well, thanks for interested in the military. Thanks for choosing the Navy. And then they just bullshit with you the whole time. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. I'm probably missing some stuff because this was a week ago, and I'm now putting up the video now. And my next visit is, they say, come in next time next week, and we can just ask you questions. And that's it for this video, guys. I'm Derek. I'm joining the Navy, and please subscribe. Don't thumbs down my video just because you don't like it. Please just thumbs up, or don't do anything at all. Comment if you have any questions about your time at the recruiter's office. Any questions will do. Please don't comment like you're stupid or you're dumbass. No, guys, that's not okay. You can, but I'll just delete your comment. So if you have any questions, I'll be willing to ask anything you want from what I've already been through. If you ask questions about, like, MEPS or something, I won't know anything. I've looked up YouTube videos about MEPS, so I have a general idea how MEPS will go. So, yeah, just ask questions, and I'll try my best to answer it. Thanks, guys. Have a great summer break.